YouTube, this is Vargas, back with you all, recording in the Vargas Vault. Lost my train of thought there for a moment. Back again with another DVD update. I know I do pump out a lot of these, but it's because, like I said in the previous video maybe, I get them cheap, and I get what I likes. And I like, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I like blind buying movies. Sometimes I'll buy a movie I had never seen, but I've heard good word of mouth, or the cover might look cool, so it's 50 cents. I'll buy it. Why not? So I was able to amass another pile of movies. Hopefully, this video won't be as long as the 300th video, but that was, you know, a whole bunch of stuff. I still have to organize. It's been a while since I've had these, and I still have to organize the CDs and the video games and stuff like that. But because when you have a big movie collection, that's how it goes. You know, you have the stuff that you have to watch and the stuff you have to organize, and it's a mess. But I'll get to into that in another video. Again, don't want to make this a long video, so just going to share only the DVDs that I've gotten recently. So first off, I really like from Fox these 5-star collection collector sets that they put out. This is the 5-star collection of Die Hard. And I like these because it has like a nice chrome hollow foil shiny cover. The DVD case is extra thick. Comes with 2 discs. Oh, it's backwards, but 2 discs with Die Hard there. And Die Hard there. Your really nice big insert. And a ton of special features. I already own Die Hard. I bought it on a box set. It has Die Hard, Die Hard 2, and Die Hard 3, along with a DVD with some special features. But this set, besides looking pretty, also has some more special features that the other one doesn't have. It has 2 extended scenes in disc 2. A cutting room where you can re-edit and remix your favorite scenes, so that sounds interesting. A gag reel, newscasts. On the first disc, it has a commentary with director John McTiernan and production designer Jason DeGovia. Scene-specific commentaries, subtitle commentary with various cast and crew members. A branching version with the extended power shutdown scene put back in. So yeah, you get a lot of bang for your buck with these. And I have MASH, I have Cleopatra, I have Independence Day. I think I have one more in this one. So if you can track down these 5-star collections of Fox's big movies, I would definitely recommend it. You do get a lot of bang for your buck, and it looks pretty. Next one I picked up. I remember watching this movie. Again, dramas are not my thing, but I remember watching this, and I was like, wow, that was actually a really good movie. And I was rewatching Doug Walker's The Nostalgia Critics video for his top 10 favorite movies, and he mentioned this, and I was like, yeah, I remember that movie. That one was really good. If I ever come across a copy, I'll buy it. And lo and behold, I found a copy. Fearless with Jeff Bridges. This is a really good movie where Jeff Bridges is a survivor of an airplane crash, and he has kind of like survivor's guilt, where he's like, God damn it, why am I the only one that survived and everyone else died? Like, what the hell? And he like goes through life, because most people that have a near-death experience go through, they either have the same effect when they shut down, or they appreciate the second chance that they got in life. And this guy has, you know, the first one where he's like, I just want to die again, because why the hell am I still alive? So he does a whole bunch of stuff that a lot of people, he does one thing that people think he's heroic, but he's just like, God damn it, I can't even die that way. And in the end, he almost does die, and he's like, this is what I wanted, but he realizes, oh shit, I still have stuff to live for. So it's a really, really good movie. I don't know, and this is coming from a guy that has said he doesn't like dramas. I don't like dramas, but this was pretty cool. So if you can find a copy, definitely recommend that. Finally got a copy of Beverly Hills Cop 2. First Beverly Hills Cop is a classic. This one is another classic, really good sequel. The third one is not good. I haven't come across a copy of the third one. If I do, I'll pick it up because I want to complete the trilogy. But the third one is not good. 1 and 2, great movies. Already own the full screen version of Around the World in 80 Days with Jackie Chan. But this is the widescreen, and if you're a DVD collector, you might have come across this where a full screen on a flat screen TV looks weird because you have all this dead black space on the side of the image of the movie, and the widescreen is just like the bars on the top and at the bottom. So yeah, the full screen was made to fit the older TVs. I'll talk about it in another video. But yeah, picked up the widescreen because it looks better on this flat screen TV. Picked up From Paris with Love with John Travolta. Movie written by Luc Besson, who did Leon the Professional. I think he directed, might have also written The Fifth Element. Don't quote me on that. And the Taken series. So yeah, this was a nice action movie. Well, I thought it was a nice action movie. I recommend it. Picked up Law Abiding Citizen with Gerald Butler and Jamie Foxx. Also thought it has issues. It's not a perfect movie, but as an action thriller movie, I thought it was pretty cool. Picked this up because it's part of Disney, and it's also part of my wrestler movie collection. But The Rock, starring in Game Plan, where he's a football player that discovers he has a kid, so now he has to juggle his parenting. And it's your typical movie where he's like an asshole, and he doesn't want the kid, and he tries everything he can to get rid of the kid, but then he realizes that, oh, this is my kid. I'm a dad, and learns the value of being a dad. It's a cliche as heck, but now that I'm a father, I kind of understand that a little better. This one might have pissed off people like crazy when they bought it, but I saw it. I knew what I was getting into. I was actually searching for this, but this is Batman, the 1943 serial collection. Back in the olden days, they would pass serials. They would pass news in the movie theaters, and they would pass serials where it could be sci-fi, western, or like superhero with Batman. And they would always end in a cliffhanger, and then you would have to go back to the theater to watch the next episode. But this is in black and white, and it has a complete collection of 15 serials. I'm not gonna lie, the Batman costume looks like garbage, but it adds to the charm. And I'm a huge Batman fan, and I'm actually trying to complete the Batman collection. My buddies Movie John and Jimmy's VHS Addiction have a way better Batman collection than I do. But I'm working on it. And one of the ones I was missing is the 1943 serial collection. So finally have that. Love anime, so I was able to pick up Ghost in the Shell, the movie. Now this is a sequel to a reimagining of the original Ghost in the Shell. And in Ghost in the Shell, you have the original one from the 80s. Then you have Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence. Then you have the TV show Standalone Complex and Standalone Complex Second Gig. Then you have these. I don't have the first one. This is the second one, which is more of a sequel. It's more of a remake to the first Ghost in the Shell. And then you have the Scarlett Johansson Ghost in the Shell. And I didn't like that one. I saw that one on TV recently. And I'll pick it up because it's part of the Ghost in the Shell collection. But it's not good. Everything that I thought was going to happen in the trailer happened in the movie. It's the mayor from Ghost in the Shell going off against an evil corporation because, of course, in the future, all corporations are evil. And they're trying to give out this Blade Runner vibe. But it doesn't work because it looks fake. That's not good. Picked up 2 Santo movies, the double feature set of El Santo en Anónimo Mortal, El Santo y El Águila Real. Picked this up because I like El Santo. I like luchador movies. But I will admit that the Santo works best when he's fighting monsters, when he's fighting mummies or zombies or Dracula or Frankenstein or Anything supernatural. The minute that he's doing like, even when he's like a spy, like a James Bond kind of thing, he's cool in that. But when it's just like normal Santo, like that's not as cool. Pick this one up. This is a four. Pick this in Movie Freak Bazaar. Got it for $2, but it has 6 movies. 6 of the WWE movies. 2 I already own, 4 I don't. I already own The Condemned, but I've never seen The Condemned 2 with Randy Orton. Picked up. I have 12 rounds with John Cena. Missing 12 rounds. I think it's with Randy Orton, and this is 12 rounds 3 with Dean Ambrose. Countdown with Dolph Ziggler and Kane. Corporate Kane. And then also with Kane, I already have See No Evil, which is a horror movie with Kane. Works really well. But I've never seen the second one, See No Evil 2. Which I'm curious to see how they brought back Jacob Midnight, which is the character that Kane plays. Because he's pretty dead in the first one. He's like dead. And they never hint that he has any sort of Jason or Michael Myers supernatural powers. But 4 movies for $1, I thought it was pretty cool. Also picked this one up only because Bill Murray's in this, City of Ember. Bill Murray plays the mayor of this underground city. So yeah, that's the only reason I picked this one up. The next one, I really like Chris Farley in Saturday Night Live, but his movies they tended to be hit or miss for me. Black Sheep, don't much care for Black Sheep. There are parts of that one that I like, but not that much. The one that I liked a little bit more was Beverly Hills Ninja. And for the longest time, I could never find a good copy of this. Because I would see it around, but the DVD was always scratched to hell. This is a nice, clean copy, so I finally added Chris Farley's Beverly Hills Ninja. I know there's an unrated version of this, but this is the 2-disc special edition with a bunch of special features. So this is Get Smart, the readaptation of the old TV show. I haven't seen this, so I don't know if it's good or bad. This one I know is good. Picked up The Naked Gun 2.5. I love the first Naked Gun. The Naked Gun 2 is cool. Naked Gun 3, not as cool as the one in the second one. The first and the second one. But these are really funny. This is my kind of goofy parody comedies, like Hot Shots. I freaking love Hot Shots, and I freaking love The Naked Gun, so happy to add that. Another double dip, because for the longest time I thought I already owned Men in Black 1 and 2. Turns out I have 2 versions of Men in Black, a collector's and the 2-disc set, which makes me look stupid. So I was like, God damn it, now I need to buy Men in Black 2. I found Men in Black 2, the 2-disc collector set, but that's the full screen. And much like Around the World in 80 Days, it looks weird on a flat screen TV. So I was able to find the 2-disc collector set of Men in Black 2, so now I have 2 copies of that. Al Pacino's career is interesting because he started really well, started getting a lot of praise. Then he went into this, I'm Al Pacino and I'm screaming! At least that's how it seemed to me, that he would always scream in his movies. In his later movies. Just really weird. And then his career kind of like got weird after he appeared in Jack and Jill with Adam Sandler. But he's still working. He's still doing independent films. I'm looking forward to him appearing in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Leonardo DiCaprio and Al Pacino. I'm hoping that reignites his career and gets him back into the spotlight. But I picked up The Humbling. I've never seen this, but I picked it up because of Al Pacino. So I'm hoping since it's an independent movie, he's a little more calmed down. Now, the husband of one of my wife's friends bought this movie, but he kept the digital code, downloaded the movie, and it's like, I don't collect physical media, never have. I like having everything, digital. So he gave me this, and I'm super, super grateful to him for giving me this, because this is a Star Wars movie that I was missing. Didn't get to see it in the theaters. This is actually the movie that broke my streak of watching the Star Wars movies. Since Return of the Jedi back in the 80s, I have not missed a Star Wars movie in the theater until Solo, A Star Wars Story. I wanted to see it. I begged my wife to go see it. We couldn't see it, and that really, really hurt. This movie gets a lot of hate, but I think it gets a lot of hate because it came out after Last Jedi, and a ton of people hated Last Jedi. It has issues, script-wise and story-wise. It does have issues. I'm not happy with what they did to Luke Skywalker and how they portrayed him as this loser that just gave up on everything because he had one moment of poor judgment. But overall, I enjoyed The Last Jedi. And I watched this with my wife's friend and her husband because they have Netflix, so they had it there. And I watched it. I was good. I thought it was really good. Not the best Star Wars movie of the new ones. Rogue One is my favorite movie so far. Then Force Awakens, but this was a lot of fun. I know there's a lot of backstory to this where they had to fire the original directors, and then Ron Howard came in and reshot like 80% of the movie, and it still weren't happy with the product. But I thought it was fun. I thought it moved well. There were some certain plot points that felt like they were missing. The only thing I can't really say that I liked is the interpretation of Solo. Han Solo in the original trilogy is a scoundrel. You know, he's only looking out for number one, and that's Han Solo. He's the guy that will shoot first when things go south, and he only starts, becoming heroic with his interactions with the rebellion. And this one, they start off like, oh, he's just a good guy, but he plays being a bad guy, and that's kind of dumb. But the movie itself is still fun. I liked it. I still like it. It's a fast-paced, like, crime movie, and it has Darth Maul in it, so that's cool. I completely forgot this movie even existed until I saw this DVD. But since I'm trying to complete a Muppet collection, I might as well get the prequel, and that's Kermit's Swamp Years. So this is like the origin story of Kermit the Frog. This one I guess I should have put on a separate video for a cartoon with my daughter, but this is more like anime. Astro Boy in Japan is huge. He's like one of, if not the first, one of the first major manga and anime characters in Japan. I think his popularity might have gone down a bit in recent years, but I love Astro Boy. They would pass, sporadically, they would pass the old Japanese anime on TV with the 80s style animation, but I like that kind of style. Like Robotech, I like that kind of animation. And then they tried to do a reboot of it number of years ago, where it was still 2D animation, but it had now like 3D effects. I love that one. That one looks really cool, and it follows the story of Astro Boy. But then the Americans decided to adapt it even more, and they did this Astro Boy. It still has the essence of the character, but it's more how do I say this? It feels like an American adaptation of Astro Boy. But the reason that this is worthwhile is because Nicolas Cage, the Nick Cage himself, plays Dr. Tenma. So I actually want to get Teen Titans Go to the movies, which is the Teen Titan movie that came out last year, because Nicolas Cage does the voice of Superman. So his lifelong dream of being Superman after the Tim Burton Nicolas Cage project went down the hill finally came to fruition. He's finally Superman in a DC movie, and I thought that was a very, very cool in-joke. Picked up The Burbs with Tom Hanks. Really good movie. Tom Hanks, I'm still missing Splash. I have not been able to find a copy of Splash. But people forget that he started out doing comedy with like Splash, Big, The Burbs, The Money Pit, The Not Too Good Joe versus the Volcano, Volunteers with John Candy, Bosom Buddies. He was in Bosom Buddies. It wasn't until Philadelphia that he got recognized as a dramatic actor, and he still does comedy here and there, but he's stuck on drama. This movie is a lie. I picked it up because I thought it was a Schwarzenegger movie, killing Gunther, but he barely appears in the movie. He's here and there and gone. It focuses mostly on these characters trying to track down Schwarzenegger's character. So yeah, this is blatant lie. But it's not the first time something like that happens. I bought a bunch of Jackie Chan movies that proudly proclaim Jackie Chan in X movie, and he's only in it for like 5 minutes. Picked up the remake of Red Dawn with Thor, Chris Hemsworth. I have the original Red Dawn, the one that came out in like the 80s, 90s. This is the remake of that. In the original, the Russians invade America, so they have to, fight back. This one, I don't remember who invades. I'll have to rewatch it again. Picked up another widescreen rebought of a movie I already owned, but this is Matchstick Men, the widescreen version. Because I already own the full screen, but I wanted the widescreen because I am a crazy, obsessive, compulsive freak. But that's a good movie. I need more blaxploitation movies. I still, to this day, have not been able to find a copy of Dolomite. But I picked this one up, Black Caesar, which is basically like Scarface or American Gangster, but done in the 70s, where it's this guy that starts at the bottom of the totem pole and then makes a rise to power and becomes like all powerful and drugs and everything. So I like those kind of movies when done well, and I'll see how this one plays out. This is what I remember. In my memory is not as good as it used to be as I've gotten older. But I remember this movie came about around or maybe after Boogie Nights. I still need to get a copy of Boogie Nights, but this one is like that style of movie, but focusing on Studio 54. And I like the cast, and I remember it was an okay movie, but it has Salma Hayek, Nev Campbell, and Mike Myers as the owner of Studio 54. I recently found out there's a longer director's cut of this. This is like the theatrical cut. It's only 90 minutes. And I heard a lot of complaints that it feels like it was butchered, like a lot of scenes are cut and plot points are cut. So if I ever come across the director's cut with those elements inserted back, I'll pick it up. But I remember this was a good movie. To complete my Nicolas Cage collection, I've seen this before. I've avoided it, but I'm really close to completing my. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna say I'm really close to completing my Nicolas Cage collection, but that's a lie. He's still pumping like 10 movies a year, and it's insane how much he works. But I'm almost close to completing his earlier films. That's why I wanted to go. I'm still missing Leaving Las Vegas, Wild at Heart. I'm missing that one, and this one, which I've avoided, but now I picked up, Captain Corellian's Mandolin. So that's a weird ass title. But it's Nicolas Cage in a romantic movie with Penelope Cruz, and I remember it's not good. It's not romantic. It's not good. Nicolas Cage doesn't freak out. It's not good. It's actually quite a bit of a stinker. This one I picked up because I watched the Nostalgia Critics Top 10 Favorite Movies, and he mentioned this, and I have heard about it. I know that it's directed by and co-written by George Clooney, and it got a whole bunch of praise for it. Got six. It says here on the cover, got 6 nominations for Academy Awards, which means nothing because I've always thought the Academy Awards were rigged, or if they get a lot of criticism, they fold and they start nominating like movies that because we got nominated because we're people will think poorly of us. So the Oscars, I like the Oscars, but then I started seeing that it's more politics than anything else, and a lot of probably studio bribes to get their movie promoted. So the Oscars don't mean jack shit to me anymore. I still watch them, but I'm not surprised when a pretentious movie wins. But I decided to give this one a chance because it has a nice cast, and that's Good Night, and Good Luck. But the Nostalgia Critic praised this movie as one of his favorite top 10 movies, so why not? This one, I didn't even know existed. If it wasn't for Cyber Ray that posted on Facebook the Ernest movies, I would not have known about this movie. Because I thought I had them all. I have Ernest Saves Christmas, Ernest Goes to Camp, Ernest Goes to Jail, Ernest Scared Stupid, and another Ernest movie somewhere. So I thought I was done. But then he showed 2 more that I didn't know about, which was Slam Dunk Ernest, which I've never seen, and Ernest in the Army, which I've never seen also, but I found a copy of it. And as I was researching those movies, I read that this was his last movie before his death, which was kind of sad because I liked Ernest. I watched the TV show that he had, and like I said, I watched those movies. My favorite one is Christmas and Scared Stupid, followed by Ghost of Camp. So yeah, he was really cool, and he very expressive. He was very expressive in his face, and yeah, I was really sad when he passed away. So never seen this movie, but I'll give it a shot in his last movie. So if I remember correctly, now I'm just missing Ernest, Slam Dunk Ernest. This one I've seen once, and I didn't much care for it. I never bothered to buy it. Not only have I rarely come across it, because Movie Freak Bazaar had it once, but everyone got it real quick. And I saw this one; it was 50 cents. I'm like, well, I might as well pick it up. And I picked up Waterworld, where Kevin Costner. It's like the post-apocalyptic movie, but the world flooded, which might actually happen because with global warming, I don't care that people say that global warming is fake. We are losing the polar ice caps, and that shit's melting, and the water levels are going to rise, and we're all going to be living underwater. So, goddamn global warming. So this might actually happen, but Kevin Costner plays like a merman, and everyone's fighting for land because there's no land. Everyone's living like in boats, and it has Dennis Hopper as a evil guy. Picked up the last of these type of movies that I want to get. These kind of like anthology romantic movies. Started with what's that movie called? Love Actually. Then He's Not That Into You, Valentine's Day, and New Year's Eve with an ensemble cast. So yeah, pick this one up. Overboard with Kurt Russell. I like Kurt Russell. He's a very charismatic guy, and Goldie Hawn. They're actually married. I thought they actually divorced, but in the Netflix movie, The Christmas Chronicles, they're there, and I researched that. Apparently, they're still together, so props to them for being married so long. But this is really good, where she plays a rich bitch, falls off a yacht, loses her memory, and then he's like, I'm going to get back at you so bad, and convinces her that she's his wife and the mother of 4 troublesome kids. Fun movie. They remade this with Eugenio Derbez and the girl from Scary Movie, and I felt offended because they did that. Picked up the unrated. I don't know if it's the unrated version or just the features are unrated, but I picked up Adventureland. I saw this a couple of times. I've seen this twice on TV, and I like it actually. I thought it was pretty cool. It's just a story about this guy that goes to work in an amusement park, encounters zany characters, and falls in love with the block of dead wood that is Kristen Stewart from the Twilight series. But I will say that she's good in this movie, and that's something I rarely say about her. She's good in this one, and I haven't seen her work well in the movie since that. I can't believe I'm blanking out. Like I said, my memory is shit, but she did the Joan Jett movie. I don't remember, but she made the Joan Jett movie with Dakota Fanning. I'm gonna hate myself for not remembering, but she was good in that. But she's better in this. I don't know how, but she works well in this type of movie. So yeah, I can say that she was good in this movie. And The Messengers, I think she was okay in The Messengers. And but yeah, good movie. Ryan Reynolds is in it. J.C. Eisenberg is in this. The Twilight Chick's in this. Bill Hader and Kristen Wiig are in this. So it's a good movie. And the last one I'm going to share with you guys is Meltdown with Jet Li. Nice martial arts movie with him. I think I almost have all of his. I think I might only be missing Once Upon a Time in China's. Even though I think I have all 3 of them, but I might be missing one. And Cradle to the Grave is another one I'm missing. But I think I almost have his full filmography. No, that's not true. I am also missing a fantasy one that he did with the Legend of the Snake thing, something like that. So I'm 2 movies away from owning his full filmography. So awesome. So yeah, that was the pickup video. I wanted to keep it as short as I could, but I failed miserably because I see on the clock that's almost half an hour. I apologize for that. I know I tend to get crazy when talking about movies, and I try to give as brief synopsis of this as I can. But you know, I can't help it. I love movies. I love talking about movies, and even movies that I've never heard about. Might be something good. Like always, I like to recommend the standouts of the collection, and I have quite a few, but I won't go too crazy with them. If you haven't seen Die Hard, definitely recommend Die Hard. But I can't think of anyone that has never seen Die Hard. Beverly Hills Cop 2 is good. Solo, I thought it was good. It has problems, of course. Mostly the interpretation of Han Solo is the only complaint I might be able to give him that one. And Naked Gun. Just really, really fun, literal, batshit crazy humor, and I like it. I like it a lot. So, I'm going to stop talking, cut this video here. But thank you so much to everyone that watches this video and, stays with me for half an hour talking about movies and stuff. I appreciate it. I appreciate all your comments. To those, you know who you are. There are 3 people that consistently leave comments on my videos, and I love you guys to death for watching my videos and commenting, giving me your thumbs up. I appreciate that. Thanks so much for that. But until I see you all again next time, this is Vargas, recording from the Vargas Vault. Thanking you all and signing out.